Siddhi powers, simply put, means miraculous powers, or powers that enable you to perform miracles. And what's a miracle? A miracle is something like, say, you have a disease, and there is no cure for the disease. And then with the involvement of the Siddhi powers, or divine powers, then you can cure the disease. Similarly, you are very poor, and then you come upon great wealth in a miraculous way, and that is Siddhi power. So what are we going to do here? Siddhi power is not just something happens to you by accident, but according to the father of yoga, Patanjali, these are powers that you can cultivate. All that you need to do is to get beyond your rational mind, the limited mind, that is locked into cause and effect and logic. And the logic is the stumbling block. And we do not know any other reality other than cause and effect and logic. So there is a domain within our own consciousness which is non-logical or trans-logical, which is capable of giving you these miraculous powers. So they are quite scientific in as far as the steps are concerned, where you move into these Siddhi levels of consciousness through the power of concentration, or by deploying certain type of latent powers within you, but which you do not know what they are, where they are. So you are only locked into this mundane, human, logical, limited consciousness. So Siddhi powers are powers that you acquire through certain meditation practices that activate different parts of the brain, giving rise to different levels of consciousness that takes you beyond the logic and do the impossible. Okay, that is our birthright. Our birthright is to live that consciousness and not to be limited by human consciousness. In the last session I talked about God created man in his own image. Jesus said, God and him are one and the same. God and me are one and the same. Meaning that latent power within you is what your true identity is. Siddhi powers lie in that domain. But recently a Siddha came to me and then said that Patanjali is in your body. Okay. Then I was able to recollect my association or pull towards Patanjali to his Samadhi shrine in Rameshwaram, where even as a boy, like 8 years old, I used to go and sit there, not knowing who Patanjali was and how he is the teacher of the Siddha powers and so forth. Yeah. And because it was a soul connection. Yeah. But now, after the Siddha who came in my life and told that Patanjali is in your consciousness, and just a lot of things happened, and then I began to understand the teachings of Patanjali in Sanskrit and their deeper meaning. So Patanjali gives the sounds to create different forms of siddhis. To know somebody's mind is another siddhi. you have to use the Sanskrit sounds and invoke his power, and then only then you can develop these Siddhi powers that he talks about. Because Siddhi is the domain of consciousness where you perform miracles, because Siddhi is miracles. So it is natural progression to go from mundane, rationalistic, logical consciousness to an unlimited, miraculous consciousness. Patanjali himself doesn't talk about the goddess, but his approach is how you can systematically unravel the miraculous Siddhi power through his own methods. Although I want to add one thing to this second part of the program, and that is, why do we need these Siddhi powers? Because we want miracles in our lives. We want money now. We want relationship now. We want the business which we want to stick now. We want a house now. We want a car now. But then the rational mind says, forget it, it's not going to work. Okay? But the Siddhis will enable you to go into the domain and in order to acquire them in a miraculous way. And so the life itself is going to be guided by miracles, and I talked about the miracles also in my first session. Just even before you think, things start happening. Okay? And it is pretty good if you even think and then manifest. If you don't think and manifest it, that's even better. So these are stages of Siddhi powers. You do these techniques not for just for fun or wasting time. It's just for growing into the richness and harvesting the richness and power that is latent within you, and that is freely available to you.